Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
What we got? 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Kill. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover. 24. Check.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go defense. And here we go. Watch the
Now Leonard Fournette. A big run by the big man Fournette. 66 yards for him on the ground. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lambo is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. So every point is precious.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
A man who played college football here in the Sunshine State. It's USF's Marlon Mack. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape.
25, check 25, check 25.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
A 1st down carry for Davis. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Go. Motion.
They keep it with Davis on 1st down. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Brissett to throw on 1st. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check. Both seconds of Mike.
Here's Brissett. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, a give to Davis. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. That one 1st carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Haskins. They're connecting here with DJ Shark. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. A big third down play there for the Jags. 43 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
You must get tired of seeing me.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to auto.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now left side on the swing pass. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Keep running. Keep running.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 3rd down, Brissett. He finds Beckham, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, he got great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
Brissett now. This one caught by Davis. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. That ball caught by Funchess. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 8 yards on the touchdown pass as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They go play action now. Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
47 to Mike, boy, 47. Check, 47. Give me that ball.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Going for it all. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game.
Go to 6.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On second down, Davis. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Who's on 85? Come on, baby. Let's get this. Run. He's tight right here. Tight on the right. 51 is Mike. Mike 51. Go. 51.
It's third and long for Brissett. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Odell Beckham, 87 yards. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man.
Yard.
I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Get ready.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Trying to get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run with Fournette, and he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Fournette. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Davis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins, his 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Check 26, check 26.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
It's Davis on the counter, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Mike 51. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Mike 51.
To throw is Brissett. He's going to air one out. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive?
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. He breaks through another tackle. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
You know, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They run with Pumphrey. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Check out.
Second down.
Kill it.
At the Jaguars' 46-yard line.
Now on 2nd and 16. Brissett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll run on 1st down. Davis. Now Davis fumbles it, and the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Brissett on 1st down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Now the point after try for Santos. And this is back to a 5-point game. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
From the 27, Haskins. And he's got his man on the out route. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Fournette. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it's Haskins. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got it with the 15. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. This is Fournette. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Able to go down to a knee, wrap this one up in the wild card round. Being at home, that certainly helped.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And think of it this way. If this is tennis, they held serve. They did what they were supposed to do. Won at home, rewarded their home crowd. They may have to go on the road the rest of the way, but they'll do it with some confidence.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.